blues. He was murdered
Oh man.
and thrown out in the street. Good morning and welcome to Talk Back Natchitoches. Yours truly, Pastor Stephen Harris. And listen, we are going to have a candid conversation that we indulge you and engage you to come in because we want to be able to talk because I think this is a conversation that needs to be had not only here but in this country. And we should have been having these conversations because the only way you rectify things is that you dialogue, you talk about it. And so, with that being said, I want to start as we always do, and that is with the word of prayer. Lord God, how we thank you, praise, glorify, magnify, and lift your holy name. This is the day that you've made, and I'm going to rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it because I know it wasn't because we've been so good and we've done everything right, but it's because of grace and mercy that we're here today. And because of that, oh gracious Father, I can look around and know that you're a great God, you're a good God, you are ubiquitous God, you are an awesome God, you're a God all by yourself. And Lord, you look beyond a multiplicity of faults and failures, and you saw all of our need because we were on the wake up list. I know someone didn't wake up this morning, but Lord, because I did, I'm going to do what you've called me to do, and that's glorify your name. And Lord, I pray right now that this segment will be informative, it will be impactful, and Lord, it will be inspiring. And for us to go another further. It is in the awesome and matchless name of Jesus Christ we do pray. Amen and amen. Listen, don't forget the date. What's the date? November the 3rd. November the 3rd. Remember this, Jesus rose in 3 days, but then they're going to turn around in October the 20th through the 27th and give you 7 days to get up and go to the polls. That's October the 20th to the 27th. It's going to be early voting, 7 days to go early vote. And listen, they don't even you don't have to have a doctor's excuse or nothing. Just go and go vote, and then you can sit back on November the 3rd and don't even worry about it because your vote has counted. Your voice have been heard. Listen, already done, already done. Listen, I am joined today, and if I butcher your last name, but I think it's Eiler.
That is right. It is Elizabeth Eilers.
Yes, Miss Elizabeth Eilers. I thank you for coming back.
Absolutely.
And listen, I'm going to engage your fiance as well to come and yeah because uh, it's a
Good morning, Tasha.
it's because I know. Listen, you've heard and seen things that normal people don't hear. Not right out. And I had and my good friend is probably on Michael Barnett. Michael Barnett is a great friend of mine, but his uncle, we were like family, and we called him Chief. Chief, uh, I'll be very honest with you. Chief, he didn't like white people, and there was a reason for it because he himself looked white.
Okay.
And he was able to go into places because he served in both World War II, the Korean conflict, and part of the Vietnam.
Okay.
And so he would go into places and they thought he was white, and they would tell him different things. And he grew a dislike for folks who didn't like other races because of the color of their skin. And so he was much of a man. He was a real soldier. But and so I know that you all probably get a chance to hear things that many of us don't hear. And so I want this to be very candid. The reason you engage this
A lot.
conversation. Now listen, y'all. I'll talk about this. I'll talk about it, and my friends who know me, they know I'll talk about it right to their face because I want them to understand. Because we don't dialogue is the reason we have a misconception
And
about.
Honestly, that's my point too. Is I'll open it up. I'll talk about it. And I know that it's like iffy. I obviously read the people if I can talk about it because I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum and it's really not appropriate for a white girl to come up and talk about black issues.
Right.
But I'm thankful that I have been able to kind of just roam in and out of all of the communities here in Natchitoches. I am starting to get the resistance.
And but you're not from here either.
No, I am originally from the 9th Ward, Chalmette area in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So, and then I went to Belle Chase on the West Bank in New Orleans. So
I know exactly where
I've
you
been
just left from Belle Chase and all of that.
some good food down there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's a melting pot, really, of all types of cultures and people.
And and that's, I guess, part of my not problem, but who I am is I was raised around everybody, everything. We on the weekends would go in the French Quarter and just go eat at different restaurants, whatever. So there's no telling what you would see. Everybody knows what you would see in New Orleans. There's no need for me to say it. So I never really experienced racial tension. Because New Orleans, everybody just loves everybody, mostly because they're too much in an altered state of mind. But
Well, I used to tell people nobody would ever get a DUI in South Louisiana. I actually lived in LaPlace, but I worked uptown, downtown, and crosstown, and everywhere else. But down here we have sausage biscuit and orange juice.
Right.
Over there they have sausage biscuit and a beer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Daiquiri.
So the police wasn't gonna give you no ticket for being a little tipsy, inebriated, or anything like that. But Elizabeth, again, I thank you for coming. But tell our listeners a little bit. I know they know that you're from New Orleans now, but what made you want to engage this conversation surrounding race and community relationship?
Well, it started a few years ago. I was working for a local lawyer who works for Jazz Fest, and I was put on one of the performers a few years ago. And I went around getting donations and different various things. And I got to know our community.
Right.
And then some various stories popped up about different people. Like, this one is this one is that, this one's racist, this one's not racist, whatever. Well, I had come to the conclusion, that Natchitoches is a community that wants to work together. They just don't know how to. And that's what made me want to engage more, because we have notions and you know what, all of the notions are most likely warranted. I'm not even gonna lie, most of them are.
Right.
But I don't think, like what we were talking about, a lot of people don't mean it certain ways. I think grace needs to come in. Take the instance on Facebook right now, or a few days ago, we had this troll on Facebook. His name's not important. He was he took the 4th of July celebration we had on the riverbank.
Oh, yeah. And
we had our usual performers, and one of
great performers.
Fabulous performance. Every last one of them, who are all family friendly.
And all of them are
Christian
right.
men.
They're no racist bone in their body.
Not a racist bone in their body. Well, I don't run it, but I'm a moderator in one of the Natchitoches groups. And this post made it through. This person just went in with some foul language on one of our performers who is one of the best men that I've met in Natchitoches, Trini Triggs. And if you've ever had the pleasure of hearing him sing or MC, that man does not cuss. He is family friendly. Well, this woman went in with some foul language, saying all kinds of things. And then the comments. The comments are what did it for me. People just going at it. And that's when I think we started talking about the racial divide in Natchitoches because these comments were foul. I mean, some of these people have no qualms about saying certain words that really should never be said. You know?
And that's part of it too, I believe. We are brave behind
a keyboard.
These keyboards, I call them keyboard bandits.
Exactly.
You know, we're bold, and we don't even know if it's really the person who's doing it and things like that. But they can talk some crazy, bold stuff, and I've been guilty of calling people out and telling them, you know, come meet me wherever you meet me. That's where I'm gonna leave you and all the kind of stuff. I know that ain't right. I know I'm the pastor,
right?
And you shouldn't allow people to cause you to get out of your character. And you're right.
And you see, but what you're saying, like, and what motivated me to do this is like what you're saying. You know, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. Well, I'm quite opposite. People need to be told about themselves every so often. And I am not connected to any official group.
Right.
I did that intentionally. I don't attach to whoever offers me a job. So I can sit here and tell you exactly what I feel about it. There was this one woman out of context too, talking about something on the 4th of July and you're always defending the mayor.
I saw that.
You saw that, and I was like, what does this have to do with this? You know, and I'm like, okay, well, yes, I was defending our mayor, and I do continue to defend our mayor, and I will, because he's an elected official,
right?
And I'm a veteran. They go hand in hand, and I genuinely like Ronnie Williams.
And biblically, you know, the president himself, he and I don't see eye to eye on a whole lot of stuff.
But
I'm supposed to pray for him. I'm supposed to cover him in love, and I do. But when it comes time to correcting things, I wish I could see him face to face. Because I would tell him, unlike the people who say they love him, and you allow him to do and say things without challenging them.
And you know, and this might be a bad example, and a lot of people have wondered this one. What you're saying, if you go with Charlie Kirk, I know that's a controversial individual. I am aware of that, okay? But don't come for me.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk believed in telling your loved ones the truth.
Right.
And we won't touch on the subjects that he used for that.
Right.
That's his own, or was his own. But he believed that if you truly love somebody, you tell them the truth.
Right.
You're wrong. You know?
Well, I think that kind of got him in trouble, especially on that Epstein situation.
Yes, exactly.
Because it got him crossways with the president.
It did. And
he said, leave this alone, Charlie.
And I did actually watch the man, and that's why I'm able to sit here and do what I do, because I study people. I study everything you're doing, and I'm studying everything you're doing, and I'm studying it all, and I'm putting it all together.
Right.
And walking through Natchitoches and seeing these dang comments, and I'm like, I'd be wrong if I didn't try to at least do something. I'm painfully aware, and I never sought out to do this type of thing. I honestly just wanted free tickets to Jazz Fest. That's all this was. But Natchitoches, and I'm sorry to put it this way, Natchitoches pulled me in this spotlight. I never sought out for it. I just was content doing what I was doing, playing with whoever I was playing with that week. It is what it is. But Natchitoches pulled me in, and I'm just here.
Mhm.
And you can ask him, I've burnt out so many times because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's a new uncharted territory because why is a white girl discussing black issues?
Yeah.
But I can. That's the thing.
That again, as I told you all, that is engaged to a black young man.
Right.
That I know that you all get looks and stares in 2026.
Well,
Yeah.
we can discuss an issue if you want.
No,
So, he was a part of a organization here in Natchitoches. Well, one of their members, like we had just gotten together. I mean, within days, like just days, and we were so excited,
Right.
And I told this person, I was like, yeah, me and JP got together. Oh well, don't tell anybody.
Wow.
And if you want to be honest, in Natchitoches, I will say that's the only comment we've gotten.
Wow.
In everything that we've done, and we do a lot. We go to
Right.
different places. Everybody is mostly welcomed us in.
Right.
Like, I have been welcomed into black, white,
Mhm.
all communities, and I think that's why I have the platform I do. But him and we go into places, this person told us this, and now it's escalated. We've been together for a while, and now he's not even playing in that organization anymore.
Well, let me share this with you. I came from, like I said, South Louisiana, come back here. I'm originally from Natchitoches Parish, a little place called Reedham, by way of Strange Road. My brother is coming back from Dallas,
Okay.
and we get ready to go to church. Look, I'm a Gold Honor product. So Gold Honor is 99.9% white.
Right.
So we get up to go to church. I'm living in Kenny Square. There's a little church right there, walking distance.
Right.
I come from a church that was 25% black, 25% white, 25% Hispanic, 25% Asian. So it's very multicultural. And I come from that church. Walk over, where's the pastor? You must be looking for that other church right down there.
Oh, heck.
And I said to them, no, I would like to come in. Oh, no. You want to go to that church down there. These people invite me out of their Ichabod, and I go. Now, the word Ichabod means that God doesn't dwell there.
Okay.
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 So I go there, and I'll just be honest with you all. What has created a whole lot of racism in America is religion.
I can get down with that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we don't tell the truth. Even where the origin of Christianity began, we don't tell the truth about my good friend. Me and him are like brothers. Emile McTwire, he goes to Rome just
Oh, wow.
last week, and he sees all the patrons. They're black. Then he sees the baby Jesus. This is in Rome. And one of the reasons Russia is hated so much is because they've got the original picture, and they make no bones about it, of Mary and the baby Jesus. And they never colonized or enslaved black people. So my daddy would always say, son, don't believe everything you hear. And he's a soldier too. He was in the Korean conflict. And he said, don't believe everything that you hear. I think that military many times is very liberating because you see things, and the brothers and sisters, no matter what color they are, especially in wartime,
Right.
they know our life depend on one another, and we have more in common than we have not in common.
Exactly.
So with that being said, let's take a break, and when we come back, I want to understand when you hear the phrase the racial climate in Natchez, what immediately jumps out at you?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back.
Are pests trying to
The
take over?
climate, boy, this should be an open room of a whole lot of folk.
Hope we see
Because-
some comments coming in too. I'm looking at them.
Yeah, yeah.
Preston's watching.
I see Preston. Hey, Preston.
What's going on, my brother?
Good morning.
Brother from another mother.
That's our future sheriff right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. When you are comfortable in talking with other races of people, it's nothing to it. You know,
It's really not.
a friend of mine, I'm not gonna call his name though. he sends me something that was very comical of some a white pastor, one of his assistants, and a black gentleman. They were trying to see how can they implement a black Bible study but not be offensive in doing it. And it was so hilarious in how they were tipping around. And we are back. And so again, when you hear the term or the statement, the racial climate in Natchez, what immediately jumps out at you?
The division. It's. I work right in the middle of downtown. Y'all know where I work. I know where I work. It's fine. I've noticed, and I'm sure he has too, the division. But now it's starting to work for us. But we'll get to that. The ADHD. In the beginning, all I could see downtown was white. A sea of white.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know what the deal was in there because I'm not from here. I don't know, and I'm gonna straight up say I don't know why black people don't come downtown. But I'm sure I'm gonna find out, and I'm sure there's gonna be a time I'm gonna find out.
Oh yeah.
But, and somebody's gonna tell me by the end of the day. Several people are gonna tell me by the end of the day. But now I am noticing. I guess since I've started, and I'm not just taking the credit for it, but my journey with it, we're starting to mix more.
Right.
The 4th of July, and that's what really, honestly, and I made me upset with that comment about Trini, is he was playing Story Brew, and it was so mixed, y'all. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
Absolutely.
beautiful. It was like the black community and the white community all just getting along, even on Juneteenth.
Yeah.
It was a very mixed community down there. And what I've learned, and honestly, Preston told me, and we talk about it quite often, is when something positive is going on, the devil's going to try to go at it.
That's right.
I can tell you another story too. My brother and I, once we got back here, he began to pastor out in Shady Grove. Well, we had some good friends, and I can name the name now because most of them are deceased. But one being our good friend Jim Pearson, who was a banker friend of mine. And we went to the Promise Keepers. I don't know if y'all know anything about the Promise
I don't know what that is.
Well, the Promise Keepers was an organization that black and white, we all came together, and boy, they talked about how important it is for black and white to be together as believers and things like that. And so Jim and them got back and they went to their church and they told them, said, listen, we need to start inviting black to come to our churches and things like that. Because again, most of the time, this is what you're going to hear the reason a lot of them don't like to come downtown is that we're not invited down there.
Well, y'all
And
have
they
an
don't
open invitation.
they don't want. So you see the tracks.
I got you.
They divide, but it shouldn't be that way.
It should not.
But I'll tell you this. This is what was told Jim and them, and they got up and left the church and wanted to become members with us. And we told them, said, no. We want you all, if that's what God is saying, but you all are upset and angry right now. This is what they were told. Listen, we don't see nothing wrong. They stay on their side, go to their church, and we go to our church. Same thing. Somebody thought, or somebody thinks that, think about when you bury folk.
Right.
The only place that has a mixed group of people is the graveyard in Granny Court.
Okay.
It has a lot of groups. But that is not common. We act as though some kind of way that when we die, it's going to melt and it's going to seep into somebody else's coffin.
That's ridiculous.
But can I really tell y'all the truth? You may not have been told this, but when every last one of you die, make no difference what color you are, you're going to turn back to your original color.
Exactly. You know, with me, how I think how I got to get into the black community in Natchitoches, and she's watching right now, so Miss Sharon.
Okay.
Natalie Braden's family.
Okay.
Trail Boss. Every last one of them. Miss Cynthia, Nora,
Yeah,
Sharon,
yeah.
all of them.
Good people.
Y'all, I have no common sense. I would just go sit in their booths because I didn't want to work. So, so I would just scoot in and be like, oh, okay, Uncle Johnny's here. You know? And Uncle Johnny was my favorite to mess with. I would mess with that man. Poor man.
Look, I love that. So you was here when it was Bonanza?
No, God, no.
Oh,
I'm not that old.
Say, I was here when it was Bonanza.
Now I don't think I'm going to come back because he thinks I'm old enough for Bonanza.
No, I just thought maybe you
It's
were
all
a
right,
little,
it's all
I just
right.
thought you was a little girl and you were being
No,
carried
no,
in there.
no,
and you just been reared up in there
No.
even when it was Bonanza. That's what I thought.
No, but I have heard how great Bonanza was. But
It
back,
was.
so I had gotten to know on the mayor there. I got to know Mr. Ronnie there, and that's why I defend him because that man has done a lot for me and my family. You know, like different situations that are between us. You know, so I will defend anybody, and even if they're wrong, I'm still gonna sit here and defend you.
Right.
But Natchitoches, or the whole world, but we can't really do much out there. But Natchitoches, we can. I think people need to adjust how they talk to one another.
Right.
But don't be
We're
afraid.
not talking to one another. We're talking at one another. We're accusing one another. We are assuming. Yeah, a lot of assumptions.
One of the comments that really made me mad on that one post that we're discussing was typical. That was the only word they put in there.
I saw that.
It was typical.
Yeah.
And
concerning your
defense.
Yeah.
And I have a mouth. I'm sure we've all seen some of my replies. I have people hop in my inbox daily. Hey, we really like you. Don't do that. Well, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, oh yes, Natchitoches.
So it's about as long as you sit down and be quiet and be nice little white girl, we're good with you. But don't say
all
nothing.
this.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Just sit there, be pretty, and that's it. And it's okay. That's fine if some people want to do that, but I can't because I see it. I want everybody to know I see what's going on. I'm not daft. I just am. You just gotta let me cook because I'm gonna fix it.
Right.
I'm gonna fix it. I told y'all I was gonna do a Bubble Fest. I told y'all I was gonna get a mural. I told y'all I was gonna do this, and here we are. I don't know how, it might be shady how I do it, but we're gonna do it.
Well, you know, I had a good friend, and I thought we were friends, but I kept hearing his comments, but he wouldn't just come out and tell me that he didn't like some of the things that I say. But I say what I mean what I say. But I noticed that they deleted me. I noticed that I called them one day concerning something, and their secretary got back with me, and I'm like, No, I want to talk to them. Well, he wants to know what you want. I'm like, really?
Oh, it's like that.
And I'm like, now, I don't kiss behind. My daddy taught me that, listen,
Mm-mm.
you a man, you know, and you're not just a man, you're a Harris man. Remember who you are.
Yep.
And I threw the deuce at them and saw them some months later, and they thought that I was going to expose them, but I didn't. But now I do want people to know when you run this station and you do things, I'm the one left with the mic in my hand.
See, that's like what you just said
That's
there.
real.
See, that's real because these people that have been saying things to me and everything, or you know, they had one guy while I was at work ask him, "Are you sure you want to marry Elizabeth?"
Wow.
And
Yeah. All his audacity.
Wow.
And so, what you're saying right there, I would just like to say to those people, one of us has a microphone right now.
Right.
That's all I'm
right.
going to say, and I'm not going to say who it was.
And so you
and
know,
I'm coming for him.
you gotta be careful with the things you say, especially when a person is able to either, like you say, spare your life, or can say, you know, y'all remember the thing he said, go, or say, listen. And so if you bold enough to come at me and say some crazy stuff, you're bold enough. Freedom of speech is real, y'all, but the consequences we all have to pay for.
Yep. And you know, I purposely will sit outside of my job. There's like a little round table with 2 chairs.
Mm-hmm.
I purposely sit out there every day if anybody feels the need to come and step up and talk to me. You know, because there's a few of them that are a little aggressive on Facebook behind the Facebook.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Anytime they want to come talk to me, they're more than welcome to.
And I that's me. I don't have no problem with dialoguing. But now you're not gonna disrespect me.
You're not going to disrespect me at all.
Or talk about putting your hands on me or something like that.
And you know, and I told this man that I would plug him today because, you know, he deserves it.
Right.
Who I watch in Natchitoches on how to act with people are your Frank Taylors.
What's up, Frank? but Hawaiian, my boy from he's on the council. He's from Hawaii. He's a city council, not city council, parish council.
I don't know our
elected
Wayne.
officials.
Wayne.
All right.
Wayne
Hill.
Yeah,
oh,
Wayne,
Mr. Wayne.
Listen,
God, that
he
is
tries to get along with everybody.
He's another one I watch how he navigates the
Yeah.
Natchitoches community because he's so graceful about it. His
Yeah.
wife Sally as well.
Yeah.
They are just, and she's from the same place I'm from, and I actually.
For real?
Yeah, and her daddy has a stadium in West Jeff.
Oh wow,
I don't know
West Jefferson, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that whole football stadium dedicated to him.
Oh wow.
And he is actually a pillar of New Orleans.
Okay.
And he was one that broke a lot of racial divides as well.
Harry Connick Jr., that's my boy too.
Oh yeah, I
the
grew
same
up.
thing.
My daddy worked for his daddy.
Okay.
And but anyways, no, Natchitoches and race. Again, outsider looking in. This is just outsider looking in on this one. Just shut up and talk to one another.
Hey, let's take another break.
Oh no!
I like that. Just shut up to talk about it. All right.
Hey, no, shut
Yeah,
up.
You know, that's the thing, you know. It's like there are people who get paid for all of this divide.
Exactly.
Now, some folks said Obama started this, you know. And I'm saying to myself, that's just like saying that that Trump started this. I'm gonna tell you what the real truth is. Both President Trump and President Obama exposed what we were in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna blame this stuff on President Trump. I know he says a whole lot of things, but he exposed folks that's around me and who they really are.
Exactly.
Because you've been thinking the way he's talking, and so now that he's talking and you think you can tell and say them kind of things.
Well, it's just like Saul and the Israelites.
Yeah, and think that you're not. And we are back. I was sharing with our guests just a few minutes ago. A lot of folks are blaming the climate on the presidents, President Obama and President Trump. Listen, I'm not gonna blame them for the climate of this nation and what it's doing. This nation, they only exposed who your next door neighbor is.
Exactly. And in all honesty, if you stop and let me finish when I say this, when Obama did start it. Because you got to really see who was ready for change and who was not ready for change. So it's not like Obama started. No. It exposed who was who. And then it just progressively got worse throughout the years.
Well, same thing as we look in Natchitoches. Ronnie Williams
is a pioneer.
Is exposing people who, first of all, for some of us, it's because he's black, the reason he can't do nothing right. Okay? But to others, let's just call it what it is, you feel power slipping away. Now,
Yeah.
for the powers that be in this country, that's what this is about for them. When Obama became president, folks thought that it's the president who's running things. But Obama didn't become president because black folk voted for him.
No, I voted for him.
It was a whole lot of white females and the LBGQ, all those letters and things like that. But the same ones that voted for Ronald Reagan voted for Obama.
Exactly.
Because a lot of the LBGQ and all them really went up when Ronald Reagan was in office because Hollywood is full.
Yep.
But it's just, see, we so personality stricken that it depends on who it is, whether we accept it or not. You know, if it's Obama who does it, it's wrong. If it's President Trump who does it, it's right. Or vice versa.
Exactly.
You know, if that's my boy, he can do anything and it's right. But I'm sorry, when there was things that President Obama said that I was not in agreement with, but, you know, I still prayed for him.
I pray for our leaders. You know, that's what we're supposed to do. As far as like Mr. Ronnie goes, and myself, you, everybody, I think people with a position of power and our people that follow us need to learn how to give us some grace as well, because none of us are perfect. None of our mouths are perfect. Coming to Ronnie, and not just Ronnie, a mayor position, let's take his name out of it, a mayor's position. There are issues out there right now, and I've seen them, you've seen them, people getting fired, whatever. First of all, the mayor can't come out and give you a statement on why this person was fired. So everybody's on, and this is what, and I can't think of it, this is what pissed me off.
Right.
We have
They know better.
They know better. You're going to call out our mayor on a tourism post? How, and I'm sorry, how slow are you? Because we've got tourists coming here making you money to keep your city going. Ronnie can't come out and say, oh, I fired this guy because he was a jerk. You know, I'm not saying that's what the issue was. But I'm sure there are underlying issues on why this man was let go that aren't made to the public. And if you want to be honest, I know some of them. I know some of the reasons. And if you knew what I knew, you'd be like, oh, I see, I
Mm.
get it. But it's not my business to come out here and discuss why this man was fired. You know, and neither is on our elected officials. He's not going to come out and tell you what this was. He's not going to come out and release statements on every little thing you don't agree with. And plus, he's a busy man. So, and then you got people showing up to the city council meetings to do or say this. Again, proper procedures are done here. So they're fueling their own fire on getting mad on why the community meetings aren't addressing this issue. It's not on the agenda, guys.
Right.
You need to get on that agenda.
Right, and
then-
there's a way to do all
There's a
that.
way to do all kinds of things, and people seem to forget all of this, and they just want things instant. And things can't happen instantly. Give him some grace and time to tell you what it is. Stop going on publicly and doing this, you know, because you're just making yourself look bad, and you're making the city look bad.
Right,
And
right.
I know somebody is listening to this. Oh, I don't care if I make the city look bad. Well, then move. I'm sorry. If you don't like Natchitoches,
Well,
Have some pride in your community.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's one of the oldest settlement in the Louisiana Purchase, but
It's the
we
oldest.
do know that there is some underlining. There's racism.
there is, and I can tell you most of them. The racist in Natchitoches, just judging by the comments I don't approve,
Mhm.
or anybody connecting me doesn't approve in that group. I can tell you most of them.
Mhm.
And if they keep provoking me, I'll list them. You know, because that's just who I am as a person. I will call you out, and I'll tell it to your face though. That's the type of person I am.
And you know what? As I was speaking to you all earlier today, some of it is not that the person is racist. They just been raised with racist,
Undertones.
racist doctrine
There you have
and
it.
stuff.
And you know, I've been raised around it as a white girl in the South.
Yeah.
My family is by far not racist.
Mhm.
Trust me. But they were raised, some of my elders in my family were raised by older, you know, so certain
Right.
phrases
Right.
are okay, but they're not okay. You
Right.
know, and that, honestly, I think, and I hate to say it this way, when it comes to our older generation, and if they pop off saying some things, just let it go. Y'all,
Mhm.
there's no use
But
in
when these young ones come
When the
and
young
start
ones
doing
come-
and saying the same thing,
coming.
you gotta correct that stuff.
And my littlest one, my youngest one, Christian, you can ask him. We're constantly correcting him. And y'all had one of his favorite coaches on the other day. And that man has done so much with my son, because if you've ever met him, you'd understand. You know? And the coach, he has helped my family with my son. That's why I'm saying, and Christian's a little white boy.
Mhm.
And this coach is not a little white, you know? So people need to let go of skin color. The more people that love all of our children, the better off we are.
That's right, because how can you teach? And I discovered there's some folks who taught me that if I'd have known then what I know now about them, they couldn't have told me. I'm telling you, they couldn't have. You know.
Exactly.
Here's what I want to ask. How can people with different backgrounds have honest conversation about becoming, without becoming defensive?
So how I think it's going to have to go on both sides
Mm-hmm.
of the conversation.
Right.
Think before you speak.
Mm-hmm.
But as on the receiving end, if they're genuinely asking you a question, answer it. Kindness and grace. You know, stop like throwing out typicals or, you know, whatever the type of passive aggressive comments are these days. Talk to one another with kindness and some respect. You know, that's how I have my platform, is I treat everybody the same. I treat our garbage men right along
Mhm.
with not garbage men the same. You know, everybody's equal in my eyes. And until you piss me off, then I will, you know, adjust. But
I think a lot of times people don't know what's offensive to each culture or the different people. Because I want you to know, when I hear people say things like this, it's offensive to me. I don't see color. I'm colorblind.
oh, absolutely.
In most black circles, that's offensive because to them they're seeing, you know,
Well, I'm gonna be honest on that situation,
and they just don't know that though.
I am not colorblind. I am painfully aware of my position in the community, and it
Why?
scares the hell out of me.
Why?
Because I am intimidated, because I cannot understand you,
Right.
like your issues. I can't relate to you,
Mm-hmm.
but I can try to listen and understand and work my best to figure. And I think that's where people need to come in. Is I am intimidated walking into a Juneteenth situation, but I'm out there doing it anyway.
Right.
And
It's uncomfortable sometimes.
it's uncomfortable.
But it's what's needed.
It's uncomfortable, but once you get in it, you're gonna have the best time you're ever gonna have.
Right.
And me being white, I can't dance. I can't do any of this. I've noticed most black folks find that funny and will have fun. You know, and everybody will welcome everybody in.
Yeah.
You know, but then I've been on the other spectrum of Juneteenth. I've been in the middle of Juneteenth, but I've also been in the middle of Jazz Fest as well.
Yeah.
You know, on the ground, it's all a good time. We all need a mix.
And
I
music
promise.
brings us together like that.
I promise if we all mix, it's okay, guys. I promise, even if there's a little fight or two, just let it go. You know, stop publicizing the fights. That the fights that happen, that's gonna happen at black, white, any type of festivals.
Yeah.
I go
when you're mixing music with a little something
alcohol
drink.
with everything else, you know. And I go to heavy metal concerts.
Oh my God!
I go to these heavy festivals. You want to talk about beating each other up? Don't talk about a fight at Juneteenth.
Yeah,
you know?
promoters. Let me tell you something. Promoters that promote rock concerts and rap concerts, they say get your money at intermission because if not,
Exactly.
you won't get it because there's fights that will break out, you know?
Absolutely.
Because they start drinking that stuff and smoking that stuff.
Absolutely. So you just gotta...
Here's the other thing. What roles does our listeners play in healing racial division?
Don't be so quick to pop off. Think twice. You know, I have been incredibly blessed to have people behind me to tell me not to say things or delete this or don't get out of character. I have been incredibly blessed. And I'll say it all the time. Preston will call me and get me through a lot, you know, and because he's going through it. He's walking the journey as well. My biggest thing is I want Natchitoches to know there's more of us than there is of the negativity.
That's right. I believe
we are strong. We're coming in, you know. I pay attention to the comments. Every last comment. I may not comment back, but I am taking in y'all's ideas, all of y'all's problems. And what made me want to do this, you asked me earlier, what made me want to do this is one post a few months ago where Reezy lost his bike. Somebody, it's not, that's what made me want to do this.
We all came together on that.
That's what did it. And it was the post that he put out afterwards.
Okay.
And he said, I've never thought the help could come to somebody like me. And those words are what did it for me, is that should not be. There should be nobody in this community that thinks that nobody would help them.
And I'll tell you the truth, when I saw it, I almost got him somebody else's bike because somebody else had a bike that killed. And I told him, I went that, I think it was Sunday, and I got on my, I told my wife, I said, I'm going to go over and find that young man because I know where he stays. I blew the horn and everything. And I was going to tell him, and somebody had inboxed me too to tell me where his bike was at and thing. And so I told him, he came back, he told me, no, that was his bike. that was not mine, and so I was like about to take somebody else's bike, but
I love
but we
that.
gonna get his bike.
We were gonna
back
get him
because
a bike.
This young man was working,
That's why.
and somebody just gonna take his bike, you know?
That's messed up. And I don't want to give anybody a reason to cancel me here. So that's why I'm actually thinking before I speak here, and that's not all.
Well, we
things.
gotta have this again because we have a strategy surfing because I want to know how can we disagree respectfully while still maintaining our relationship because I know folks who because we have a disagreement like my friend, man, I like that dude, and that dude just because of. And the thing of it is, we know one another, and the person that I'm talking about don't know either of us,
And one of the biggest things for me to process, and again, this is probably ADHD autism, when you and I were growing up, it was rude to discuss religion, politics, and money. Those were the things you do not discuss. I have made it a point not to tell y'all the whole world who I back or who I want. And look where I've gotten. I don't tell anybody what I, support. Except Preston Durr, apparently. But
Preston,
I'm just in it for a
you
t-shirt.
know everything.
He could write a tell-all book and kind of ruin me, but it's all right. And his wife, she's a beautiful woman. I love it. But no, I would love to be back here and we can discuss how to kind of address each other.
Right.
And because there's a way to do that too. You and I can have the conversation. I can sit here and tell you, and I don't when I say this, but I can tell you I love Trump, and you and I can have a conversation about him.
Right.
There's ways to do this.
And listen, everybody who supports Trump is got their reason, and it's not necessarily racist.
It's not.
I believe that every race is supporting, but I don't think everyone who support him is racist. You know what I'm saying?
One thing.
I hope y'all got.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's where conversations come in. Ask, why do you like him?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I can agree with that, but I think so-and-so can do this better.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying the answer was anybody else running against Trump. I'm not saying Trump is, whatever.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I really don't pay attention to our candidates as far as presidency until it's time to.
Mm-hmm.
Because politics really isn't my jam.
Right.
I don't understand a lot of it, but I can talk about
A
people.
lot of it is politics, but anyway.
Exactly. I am front lines on our people.
I gotta get this one in though.
Get it in.
The community's responsibility. The community, I think, is responsible for harmonizing
Yes.
this community.
Absolutely.
And when you have people who didn't even go to the 4th of July,
they weren't even there.
weren't even there, and you just decide to make this post, and then when you get shut down, you don't even have the decency to come back and apologize for what you said. And then when people like me call you out on it, you don't like me, and I don't even know you. But I know right from wrong. And when you make a mistake, or if it was a mistake, or if it was intentional, the thing my mama and daddy taught me is to apologize for it.
I want to say about that particular woman. She blocked me. Hey, she has actually went after Trini several times. So I don't know
why she don't like him.
My guess is because she ran out of whatever drug she was smoking that day and got bored. That's what I mean. We're gonna call it like it is. And then the lady who came at me and said, "You just want to defend the mayor." I'd love to have a talk with you. But she blocked me as well.
So here's the thing. But I'm gonna go back to the church. what responsibility do the churches have in addressing racial issues? Because I think a lot of it came from churches watching things
I think
being
here's
said and done and don't stand up and say nothing.
So here's the deal, right? We've seen in church that preachers in the past have utilized biblical teachings as a means of maintaining that social, economic, and political hegemony,
Come on.
right? So I think the church's responsibility in alleviating the racial climate is to teach people the truth,
The truth.
and that Jesus came back in order to give us all a gift, and we're all equal and unified in that gift of salvation,
Yes.
right? And then when we pass on, we all get to be judged by Him, and in that way, we're all equal.
Right. And so here's the other one. What role should the schools play in teaching students about respect, diversity, and shared history? Shared history.
You have to tell them the truth.
Tell them the truth.
With schools, a lot of times we don't get the truth, right? There's a lot of things that I've learned. I have 3 bachelor's degrees,
Right.
right? There's a lot of things I've learned about history
That's
was
just not true.
omitted from history books that they give in schools,
Right.
right?
We've been indoctrinated,
yep.
Absolutely.
but we haven't been educated.
Exactly. As
Exactly.
soon as the schools started duplicating the production model of Henry Ford, right?
Yes, you understand.
Then that's when we truly became indoctrinated, because
Yeah.
the school systems don't serve us in a way that wants to make us
Liberated.
educated people.
Right.
They want to make us obedient workers.
Come on. Robots.
That's right.
Because
That's exactly right.
if you liberate a person's mind, you can never enslave them.
Nope.
And we got a bunch of, I don't care what color you are, I don't care what gender you are, I don't care what economic status you come. We've got a bunch of folks who are slaves,
Yes.
They don't even know.
and the system is the one who's creating them.
Mhm.
These broken systems, the educational system is broken.
But you know what? I have a youngin who is special needs, autism and ADHD.
Mhm.
I will say this year over at LP Vaughn, Clarissa Davis
Oh yeah,
and that coach that you had just
yeah,
had on,
yeah, Coach Johnson.
they have been absolutely fantastic with my son and me, honestly. If it wasn't for them, and I think that's why my son is so diverse,
Yeah.
is because I open up the doors to where I do believe it takes a village. I think as far as schools go, parents need to kind of back off a little bit too and let the schools do their jobs, because LP Vaughn has really, really taught my son diversity this year
Right.
and how to watch his words.
Yeah.
Because Christian is autistic and he will say off the collar things. And nothing racist, just off the collar things. Like he threw pencils and he said, "Oh look, I'm Japan." You know? So Christian says off the collar type things. And the schools have come in, "No, Christian, you can't do that." "Oh, but my son did come home saying, 'Mama, am I a big back?'" So he is learning different things.
Yeah.
You know, so it's good though. If your
Yeah.
kid comes home with different, phrases or things that they want to learn about, let them alone. Just let it go. Because the kids are cooking. They're learning with each other. At Bubble Fest, we saw black, white, Hispanic kids playing together. It was beautiful.
That's where it's supposed to be. Give us a closing word, because we got to get out of here. Got a whole lot more to talk about, but we've run out of time.
I'll be back.
I've never lost a game. I just ran out of time. God bless you all. God keep you is my prayer. I love you, and you can't do
And we
nothing
love you
about
guys.
it. Yeah. No, Bear Bryant told him, say, "I've never lost a game." They said, "Bear Bryant, that's not true. Statistics says you've lost a game." He said, "I've never lost a game."
Never.
He said, "I just ran out of time." So,
I'd
yeah,
love
we
to
got
be
a whole
back.
lot to to talk about and digest. If we would just, again, we stuck on personalities. I can't believe, you know who he is though, don't you? That's first thing. We had a situation come up, and within the person's, I guess the person felt that we needed to know who the person was. And so they began to say some things about the person. And I said, what in the world does that have to do with the issue at hand? I hate when folks try, and that's first thing, notice, when a person is killed or something, the first thing they do, they bring up,
Race.
they will diss. And remember the young lady who got killed, was it in Minnesota or whatever, by ICE?
Mm-hmm.
First thing they did was try to demonize her, to try and dehumanize them, and that's what they do to justify the destroying of a person. They was animals, so that's the same thing they did with Native Americans.
Well, here's what I think about that, right? From the beginning of times, we've always been subject to the cult of personality, right? Whoever is the most charismatic, whoever has the, let's say, coolest rock, right? Whoever has, whatever else. Because we as a species, a human species, are designed to flock around those with the greatest abilities.
Right.
The greatest abilities, which equals provision, right? And or the greatest opportunities to bring in stuff.
Yes.
Right? However, it's two-sided. Right?
Yeah.
So whoever doesn't have those abilities, i.e. the weak ones.
Come on.
Right?
And that's been throughout the ages.
The weak ones, right?
Absolutely.
The people that have bad stuff on their names, right? Those are the ones that we treat, and I'm going to break it down David Hume style. We deem them as the knave. We cast them out. We don't want the knave, right? Because the knave cannot contribute based off of how we perceive them. So we block them out. Right? So I think that's what's going on when they try to demonize people in the news. Right?
Well, that same thing we did. We won't talk about Hitler, but Hitler didn't do no more than what we do today.
No, exactly.
That was his mind frame. That listen, I want to produce. They tell me he went and he talked to this black scholar, and they sit down, they talked, and he says, I had a misconception of you. You're much smarter than what I thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They loved us.
Right.
And they still do.
Yeah. And
I have my own theories on that, but they loved us.
Right.
And why that is, it doesn't matter, but he had a profound respect for black folks.
He did. And a lot of folks didn't know that.
I didn't know
Hitler,
that.
let me tell you something. Anyway,
at the 1933 Olympics, when Jesse Owens broke the world record for the 100-meter dash, he was welcomed with open arms into Germany, and
Oh wow!
And he was the only athlete that shook Hitler's hand.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I want to, maybe I can print that article about him meeting this supposed to have been one of the most intelligent black people in America at that particular time. He had gone to England or something and did his study. But are you familiar with Mansa Musa?
I am.
Mansa Musa, okay.
The richest man that ever lived.
He's the richest man that ever lived.
Oh wow!
And he happened to be black. He bankrupt many economies by rolling through with gold and giving the citizens gold and things. And they were like, man, you can't do that. You're bankrupting our economy.
Right.
They had so much gold. And there's certain parts of Africa, when you walk across the sand, that gold dust get on your shoes, and before you can get back on the airplane, they have to blow that gold off.
Oh my goodness.
That's just how rich the continent of Africa is. And so now you see all this alignment. Okay, so what's his name? Gaddafi. Do you know why they killed Gaddafi?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was about to
Make a United Bank of Africa.
Yeah, they're gonna get rid of the dollar.
I'm with you.
And so, and right now, you got Burkina Faso right now that they are watching several African countries because they're banding together. And the only reason they have not killed the president of Burkina Faso is because both Russia and China has folks protecting this guy.
That's crazy.
They've tried to infiltrate and have him killed and things like that. And he said, why can't we take care of our own people? We are the richest continent on the face of the planet, and you all want us to depend on foreign people to take care of us. We can do our own roads. We can grow our own food. We don't have to import anything. Y'all got to come get it. But y'all gonna stop raping us. I'm gonna tell you one country that is got a problem with it is France.
France and Belgium.
Belgium. And guess what? They want to talk about how many people Hitler killed. The king, the person that was over Belgium at that particular time?
Leopold.
Leopold.
Okay, I know that one.
Leopold killed more folks by accident than this man killed on purpose.
That's crazy.
And I'm gonna tell you, when you talk about over on the Ivory Coast and all that kind of stuff like that, the atrocities that's happening over there, and a lot of that stuff, like what's happening over in Cuba right now, America caused that stuff because America's saying you won't play ball with us, you don't want to act Castro this, that, and that, and the other, and so what we gonna do? We gonna starve your people. Come on. And now we're in a fight with Iran that we can't win.
Oh gosh, no.
No, and he done told him. He done already told him. He said, if you put troops on the ground over here, we can send you home in body bags.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
You know him in the military.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I
I understand.
Okay.
I understand. But I do know this. It ain't like Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, we should have been in Afghanistan.
So in order to fight racism, you have to dismantle the hegemonic systems of power that have been in place since the founding. It goes
because
all the way back.
they use race to keep us divided.
It goes
Hey,
all the way back to
Why they
1617.
Why they take?
It goes all the way back to 1617 when the colonists decided that they were going to separate people, right, through their laws.
Yeah.
And this happened in Virginia.
Yeah.
Right? It was a system of laws. I can't remember what the laws are called. It was a system of laws that maintained the status of the lowest whites above the highest blacks.
Right.
And there's still people that believe that.
Yeah.
There's still people that believe that. I can't tell you the amount of times that I go someplace, right, and I get stared down. Right.
Without even knowing who I am.
You know, yesterday him and I were just having a disagreement as couples do.
Yeah.
And the looks that he got, because I'm a crier, and I was tearing up.
Oh, wow.
And people were looking at...
Hold on. Hey, come turn us off.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, it is?
It's okay.
We on.
I know we are.
Okay.
And I'm watching the comments. It's okay. So we were having a disagreement.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about what. And I was tearing up.
Right.
And us sitting at the table, there was several couples that walked by us looking at him as a black man making a little white girl cry.
Wow.
And
you talking about,
you
talking about these white men staring me down.
Yeah.
They're staring me down like I had never seen any look like that before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just staring me down, looking at me like, what
Man,
am I doing?
Remember this black guy got killed because he and his wife was like, wow, if I had ever known, she felt so bad about it.
Well, we talked about it, and I never knew.
But I'm glad this conversation is
That's why I said leave it on.
Yeah.
You know, because every couple fights, so that's fine.
Right.
But
I have disagreements.
yeah, we weren't even fighting.
Right.
It was just a misunderstanding, honestly.
Right.
And
you probably would get comments like, "That's why you shouldn't marry a black guy because you know they're
like
brutal."
right.
And that's not true about black men.
I have dated.
It's just not true.
Everything. I've been married to 2 white men before.
Yeah.
This is the best man I've ever been with. Yeah. He is more gentle than them 2 were.
Right.
Just a different way.
Right.
And who you fall in love with, you really can't.
Right.
You can't really,
right.
you know, help. But yeah, and once he pointed it out to me, I saw it because, like I said, I can't relate to it.
And so you saw that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then you
I
gathered and
he
said,
told
wow.
me. He pointed it out to me. He said, baby, because once I came back to, you know, ADHD, I was processing.
Mm-hmm.
And so once he pointed it out to me and I came back to, I was like, holy crap, this is real, you know?
I got
a woman's tears are already powerful.
Right.
But let it be a white woman's tears.
Come on, yeah.
And, you know, of what we were talking about earlier, and this was one that I really sat down and a thought-provoking thought to white people, is, and it does stem back with Charlie Kirk, does white privilege exist?
Right.
And he believed that it did.
And he did?
And didn't.
I did.
It both. Because what can you do what can I do that you can't do?
Right,
There's nothing.
Right.
But ways that, like, you'll get the looks, you'll get the comments, you'll get whatever. Right. So he did believe that part of it, you know, and because I see that.
Elisa, she talks about that, about her white privilege.
I do have white privilege.
She talks about that, and a lot of folks don't understand what they mean by that. You got to understand something. Now, it wasn't originally because you got the 3 progenitors of the whole entire human race was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Mm-hmm. They were 3 biological brothers. Biological brothers. This is the thing that the church should be teaching. That they were 3 biological brothers, and we are living in the time of Japheth right now.
Right.
That Japheth, the fair-skinned people, are in rule. But we are fastly going to the 4th stage where both Shem, Ham, and Japheth will rule together. The first one was Ham, the Hamitic people. Remember it says Nimrod was a mighty hunter? They were 400 years advanced. They gave us the mathematical systems and everything like that.
Right.
And then came Shem, you know, the Semitic people. They ruled for, now we're on their last brother, but it's going to all come together where both Shem, Ham, and Japheth all are going to come together. Right now, though, much of this is about who's in control than really racism.
One thing, like what we were talking about earlier, that I've noticed, and I've talked to him about it, is I have noticed here, and you asked me how I got started or whatever with this journey, I have noticed that the Black community has welcomed me in, and which is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But then I started getting more and more messages in my inbox for help, and in various different aspects of help. Mostly I do have white people and I have Black people. One thing I had noticed about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on my analyzing of this, is I was wondering why people, the Black community, was using me as whatever to hold their problems. I was wondering why. And then I had to talk with somebody, a local Black musician here, and Patrick Harris, and he was looking. Well, his manager was looking for places for him to play, and that's when the lights went on in my head. Is they're using me as a voice because Black people don't have a voice, and I had talked to him. I was like, that is a lot to put on somebody.
That is true though, because especially in America has been taught, Blacks in America has been taught that if it comes from a white person speaking on our behalf, perhaps it'll get more traction than it's coming from a Black person. Because you gotta understand, whites have been taught still that Blacks are lazy, Blacks are this and Blacks are that, and you wonder to yourself, how could that be when we actually built this country?
I think that's what sets me apart, what you're saying, because that's exactly true, but not for me. Because growing up where I did grow up, I watched Black folks hustle to make ends meet. It doesn't matter what that hustle was. To make ends meet, to feed their family, to do whatever it was to do. And I think that gives me the edge because I can relate more or understand more, and I never wanted to.
And you can articulate their feelings.
And only thing, if I could tell Black folks and folks like me, is on the internet, when they're provoking you, do not give them what they want.
Yeah, don't buy into it.
Do not go and get, because on that Trini Tricks post, there was people defending Trini as they should. But you got to do it with kindness. Not kindness, you can be passive aggressive. It's...
And see,
don't give them what they want.
I haven't seen Trini comment one way or the other about the situation.
He will not, because that's how he is.
It made me feel like, were they talking about him?
They were.
And I knew they were, but I'm saying to myself, I'm so ticked off about it. I might mess around and say the wrong thing because I know Trini don't even curse.
Well, him and I had talked about the situation, and I told him, I asked him, I said, do you want me to speak about it? I'm going on the radio here on Thursday. And he said yes.
Wow.
And I said, okay, because I told him what the topic was.
Yeah.
And I said, I would love to discuss this. And because, Brooke has done a lot for our educational system. Yeah. Brooke is one woman in Natchitoches I admire.
Yeah.
That whole relationship, that dynamic of
see, that's, let me tell you something. From a Black and white perspective, the only relationship that's worse in many folks' eyes than a Black, cause like Barack Obama, look at his family, perfect family,
beautiful family,
and attacked
one wife raising his children. Then you got this president who's got 3 different wives or whatever the case may be. I don't know.
And Barack, we had a pleasure. I'm gonna leave out a lot of details because a lot of it, I was married to someone in the military. One of our sons, it doesn't matter which one, Michelle and Barack had come over because my ex-husband, it was in Japan, my ex-husband was a part of a special thing.
Detail.
And we'll talk about that off air.
Okay.
But Michelle had come to Japan to talk to this division of wives. And my son, she had on gold shoes. And he was a toddler. And my son decided he needed to go see gold shoes. And to my horror, my son ran up on stage with Michelle Obama. And my son, Secret Service could have, did what they did. But she continued her speech, as professional as she is.
Right.
And here's my son down here, and she's just like this on his head. It just keeps going. So you can tell that they're family. Yeah. Because this toddler messing with her did not faze her one bit. Right. And she just continued on. I'm like, I wish I could do that.
No scandal.
No scandal. None. And the only thing that could get him is he had gray hair leaving. You remember that? That's the only thing.
And he smoked.
And he smoked. That's the only thing they could get him on, is that.
And I'm like, man, if that's the only thing, God almighty.
I was like, dude, at least he's not doing blow off the desk. It's like,
man. Then the dude say, I can kill somebody and get away with it. And, but
the racism is real in Natchitoches. And when we first got together, I told him, I was like, I don't really think it's there. And even he said it. Until recently, we're starting to get the pushback. We're starting to...
But as long as you know why.
We know exactly. We know why.
Remember the why. And remember the why you engage this. Because if you can just remember the why, it'll keep you focused.
If I need to be a voice for people that can't be heard, here we are. I mean, I might make it a little aggressive. I might not do it correctly, because like I said earlier, Natchitoches pushed me into this. I mean, Natchitoches pulled me in. I was quite content working at Trail Boss, doing what I do. And, but I guess God is doing this calling. Him and I got together, and it's just been a whirlwind, it
really has.
A blessing whirlwind.
Yeah.
But it's been one nonetheless.
And then being in the military and being intelligent, able to articulate, and folks don't understand. We were always articulate.
Absolutely.
You is and you ain't and all that stuff came from us being taught. And I know what you were talking about too. There was a what was it? The West Indies, the what they call it, the theory of how to keep your slaves under subjection. What was that?
That actually came a little later.
Okay. But you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes.
What was the name of that? It
was named after a plantation owner.
Yeah, named after a plantation owner, and he told them how to keep the light-skinned, the field.
It was Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch. Willie Lynch.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. And most all black folks know about the Willie Lynch letter.
See, and I have no idea what that is.
Oh wow! And see, that's what I'm saying. Most of the people, they don't teach the Willie Lynch in school, because if they taught it in school, you would see why black people are more divided amongst themselves than they are concerning whites.
It's collective.
White folk ain't never got to worry about a black person not being embracive of them. Because at the end of the day, watch this, what's going to happen with Trump. He's going to be rejected by his followers. And guess who's going to take him in? Black folk. Black folk going to take President Trump in. And that's when they really going to try to kill him, because he's so, he loves the spotlight on him. I remember him telling folks his first term, he says, I don't understand why they calling me a racist. I pardon Jack Johnson. Go ask him. Jack Johnson been dead. He didn't even know Jack Johnson was dead. Yeah.
So,
but he said, I pardon Jack Johnson. Go ask him.
No, I can't touch any of that because that's my boss.
Oh, I know.
He signs my paycheck and he tells me where to march.
Yes, sir. And most soldiers, they do it. What he said do.
Absolutely.
Now,
and that's. I wish everybody understood, like soldiers understand. You got good bosses, and you got bad bosses.
The big difference is our lives depend on our boss.
Come on. Yeah.
But I will say this, and this is something that's been eating at me since we started. Right. We can't sit here and pretend like the black community is perfect.
No.
Because we are far from it. I can't tell you the amount of times I see young black men act like they don't have any sense.
Well,
run around, dressed poorly, can't speak, can't comport themselves as a man should.
Right.
And
And they ask you your name, just a simple thing, what's your name? And you act like you don't even know your name?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, part of the racism that we experience is on us. Because that right there within itself is a narrative that's been pushed on us. Right. There are certain people that think they're being uneducated. Right. Depending on the government, whatever else is good. They think it's cool. Black men with no prospects, and they think it's okay. And it's just not, because we have a black man that wants to be a part of something, that wants to be good, who just wants to live his black life, not bother anybody, and hoping nobody will bother him. Right. We all get lumped in together because they look alike.
Right. I want to live my life. I don't want to, in other countries, like South Africa, if you're white, you call them African. Even though that wasn't the original name of Africa, it was Ekabula. But the thing of it is, if you're in another country and you're born in that country or whatever, you didn't call them African American and all that stuff. You're American.
Exactly. I've had full conversations educating people, right? But why I am not an African American, I'm black.
That's right.
I'm a black American.
Right.
And I carry the American part before I carry the black part.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of miseducation and there's a lot of education that just hasn't happened.
Yeah. But it's like you said though, it's because of our broken educational system. All over the world, all over the country.
Absolutely.
You want a dumb nation that you can manipulate and things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. The dumber we are, the better off we are. You don't need to know that.
And I look back on the way people in the past were educated, right? So back in the day, like the most famous people were called polymaths. Right? And what a polymath is someone that learns one thing and takes that thing that they learned and branches off into other things. Right? And they take what they learned, little snippets here and there, and they apply it to larger things. Polymaths are exceedingly rare these days because we think that being specialized in one thing is going to pay the bills, and that's what we've been taught.
Right.
Back in the day, you could work in a factory, do 20 years, get a pension, right? and that was your lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, it doesn't work. Having one profession just doesn't cut it.
You got to diversify.
You have to diversify. Yeah. But guys back in the day would do it just because they were bored.
Right.
You know? We have to do it to survive.
Right.
But you hardly find the people that want to are able to do it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a polymath, but I'm well-rounded.
Right.
But I've also taken the time to become well-rounded. You know? And that's just because I didn't really sleep when I was in college.
Right. So now, so you're originally from where?
I'm originally from Indiana.
Okay, yeah. You told me that, Indiana. What part of Indiana were you?
Northern Indiana.
Okay, yeah. Well, again, Indiana is different, especially when it comes to blacks in Indiana. You know, so they, pretty well-rounded, educated, things like that. You know.
What are some differences that you've noticed since you've been here amongst the black community, like as far as personalities?
Each folk of one. Yeah. And
Black folks are bolder down here.
Okay.
for real?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Very much so.
Why
Yeah.
do you think that is?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Why do y'all think that is?
Is it just to kick against the prick?
It's the heat.
It's
It's the heat.
I think that has something to do with it.
We're hot-headed because of the heat, you know?
I'm gonna tell you something. Like New Orleans, the difference between New Orleans and Los Angeles is black folks basically in the political arena ran New Orleans. Even the police and things.
Yep.
The corruption. The police department was corrupt in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But in LA, it was whites who ran it, and they were corrupt. So when I hear people saying, white people are corrupt or black people, no, both of them are.
Everybody's corrupt.
You're gonna have some corruption in all of them.
Absolutely.
At some point, we all have to do something that is outside of character to get where we are. And somebody in my inbox told me I'm not who I perceive myself to be. I'm exactly who I perceive myself to be. I am a hot mess, and I will tell you everything. But
so, folk,
the person that
be
said
in your
that's a hot mess.
inbox. so the folk get in your inbox and say things like that.
They got some bold people in Natchitoches, but
Do you know them?
oh, absolutely, I do. And
So you ain't calling names yet, though.
one day I will. Actually, what I've done is if you look on my Facebook, I've started calling people in Natchitoches who are opposed to everything Georges.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why later.
Now, here's the thing, right? The people that kick and scream the loudest for positivity are the people that do the least in the community.
Come on. I saw something.
He's like, dang.
Anyway, listen, y'all. This guy is a good guy, man.
I have met him, and he has my full support and backing because he is an absolute gem. It would be
right, and he may be a Democrat.
It's
but
okay.
He ain't a Democrat. He is
well-rounded.
A good person who is for the people of Louisiana.
He is.
That's what I do know.
I have
Jamie Davis.
I've had the absolute pleasure of getting to know him, and that needs to happen.
And you all need to go to any forum that talks about carbon capture. Go to the forums, become as educated as you can about these different things. They got them going on all over the state. And they also got all of these data centers. Let me say this, though, when it comes to data centers, even carbon capture, is not just a Louisiana thing. It is global because they're trying to to surpass people like China and Russia when it comes to trying to save our air and things. So it's a global thing. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong.
I know her.
Yeah. You know, that's Miss Stephanie Johnson.
Hey, Miss Stephanie, please don't tell my psychiatrist about this.
And so, even with those data, I mean, AI ain't going away, y'all.
It is
and
not.
So we're having to compete with Russia and China and everybody else. That's why all this stuff is happening. Should we do it in a safe way? Because if it's going to hurt our people and the life expectancy is going to be shorter because of what we're doing, I'm again reminded of Native Americans where the Indian walks out, or the Native American walks out with his paint horns up on a cliff, and tears come down his face because he sees all this pollution. And, you know, I just thought, I didn't really know back then why he felt the way he did because of how he treated Mother Nature or Mother Earth. But listen, you can mistreat where we live. At some point, though, it's going to be repercussions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
absolutely.
So I'm just wanting, you know, that we don't contaminate the water tablet because this whole state could be like what's going on in Reserve, Louisiana, Cancer Alley, they call it.
Yep.
We had one situation already where people, where I stay, the plant was more important to the people of the powers that be than the people were.
That's
You know, so you put profit over the people. And
one thing, I'm looking at your pamphlet here, and I had talked to several people in Natchitoches and we've touched on me personally with my political endeavors. I'm not gonna, and I do back this guy. He's different, but I'm encouraging because I know that I have to take a side at some point in time. I do. But right now, I'm encouraging everybody to get out there and vote. Whether you want Jamie Davis, Preston Durr, or Steve, get out there and vote. That is the most important part of this. Black, white, Hispanic. Get your voices heard.
That's right.
If you don't want current administrations, get out there and vote. There's so many opportunities. You got early voting, online voting.
Right.
But
not
it's
online voting, but online registration. But you can vote by mail.
And I'll do everything that I can on my platform to encourage voting. I'm not going to back any particular candidate.
Voting is important.
Voting is important.
Did you see the ICE situation?
I have not.
In Houston, one of the Hispanics got killed, and the Hispanic community is rising up. And let me tell you something. It's all of them belong to some type of union that works and build houses and companies and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. These people, they contribute to the economy. Come on, y'all. I can understand if they weren't contributing to the economy.
But they are, you know.
Yeah.
And that's
if they're here legally, and then there are those who may not be here legally. But you got to understand, when it comes to Texas, people been crossing the border because, especially like when we had to fight the Alamo and all that stuff, these people in their minds, they believe that they still that's part of their land.
Exactly.
You know?
And that, we need to come back because we have
Yeah,
so
because
much.
the other thing is, the Native Americans, I think it's like 9,000 acres or something like that, was taken from them to go and they're gonna mine it and stuff now. But they went against a treaty, and so that treaty they're gonna have to go to court. And I guess the president knew. He did an executive order to go take the land from them. Listen, they've experienced this before, where we moving them, taking land from them. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong. So
taking anything that like that is
especially
wrong.
when you've had a treaty signed that this would not be. This is their land. And everybody want to have some Indian in them now because they got all that money.
No, and they got great hair.
Oh yeah.
That's what y'all have come to expect out of me. Is those comments.
They truly. Listen. I do know this. Everybody wants to have some Indian blood in it. But all y'all got some black blood in you. Everybody got black blood.
Oh, I know I do. My family was a bunch of hoes.
I'm trying to tell y'all. You know why I know this? Y'all know why I know this? Because at the end of life, we all turn back to our original color.
And you know, I really think that's why I just love well, I don't love everybody.
You love everybody, you just don't like everybody.
There we go. That's what I tell my children. I love y'all, I just don't like you.
Any given moment.
So when we look at it from a biblical perspective, right?
Yeah.
We break down the words for dirt.
That's right.
Man,
and
spirit, right?
Man. Yeah. And
right. So look at it like this, right? The Aramaic word for dirt is dung, right?
That's right.
The first man is Adam.
Adam.
Right? Spirit is Adamah. You see what I'm saying?
Adamah. Yeah. He studies. He's
Him's educated.
He knows some things. She didn't get no dumb black man. Praise the Lord. Listen, we out of here. I gotta go do a few things. Amen.
I gotta go to work.
Well, they gonna get you.